What if everything you thought you knew about ancient history was wrong? What if our ancestors possessed knowledge and technology that modern science still struggles to comprehend? For millennia, humanity has carved its story into the very fabric of existence, leaving behind a legacy of remarkable achievements. From towering monuments to intricate tools, these remnants speak volumes about the ingenuity and ambition of our forebears. But nestled among these triumphs are certain discoveries, whispers from the past that continue to baffle our brightest minds. These aren't just old relics. They are glaring question marks, hinting at advanced capabilities and understanding beyond our current understanding of historical progress. They challenge our neatly packaged narratives of history, forcing us to ask, what secrets are still hidden within the dust of forgotten civilizations, and why can't we crack them? One of the most mind-boggling pieces of ancient tech ever found isn't a pyramid or a temple, but a rusty, corroded hunk of bronze fished from a shipwreck off the Greek island of Antikythera in 1901. What looked like a calcified rock to the divers turned out to be the world's first known analog computer. Imagine that, a computer from 2 centuries before Christ. The Antikythera mechanism, as it's now called, is an astronomical calculator of astonishing complexity. It's a system of at least 30 meshing bronze gears, each tiny tooth expertly cut, housed in a wooden box with dials on the outside. This isn't just a sundial. It is a sophisticated device that could predict the positions of the sun, moon, and planets, the phases of the moon, and even solar and lunar eclipses with incredible accuracy. Scientists have used X-rays and 3D imaging to peer inside its intricate workings, revealing gear ratios and mechanisms that demonstrate a profound understanding of mathematics and astronomical cycles. The precision engineering involved is so far ahead of its time that it feels like something from a much later era. Technology that wouldn't appear again for another 1,000 years. For another 1,000 years, not until medieval clockmakers started tinkering in Europe. How did the ancient Greeks, with their relatively simple tools, craft such a device? Who built it? And what other marvels did they possess that have simply been lost to the sea or to time? The existence of this mechanism forces us to reevaluate our entire understanding of ancient technological prowess, leaving us scratching our heads about the true extent of their knowledge. Then, there are the Nazca lines in Peru, colossal geoglyphs etched into the desert floor by the ancient Nazca people some 2,000 years ago. These aren't small drawings. We're talking massive figures of hummingbirds, spiders, monkeys, fish, lizards, and even abstract geometric patterns, sometimes stretching for hundreds of feet across the arid landscape. The most astonishing fact? You can only really appreciate their scale and design from high above, from an aerial perspective. This raises a critical question. Why would a civilization create art that can only be fully seen from the sky when they didn't have the means of flight? The Nazca people meticulously cleared dark reddish-brown stones from the desert surface, exposing the lighter soil underneath to create these sprawling masterpieces. But their purpose remains a deep mystery. Were they part of elaborate astronomical calendars, tracking celestial bodies and agricultural cycles? Some theories suggest they were ritualistic pathways, perhaps used in religious ceremonies, or even directed at deities in the heavens. Others wonder if they were water-finding maps in a parched land. While scientists have proposed several possible functions, based on archaeological evidence and cultural context, none fully explain the sheer scale, the aerial perspective, and the immense effort invested in creating something that seems to defy earthly observation. It suggests a deep understanding of their environment, coupled with a desire for complex expression that transcends our conventional understanding of their societal needs or technological capabilities. Of course, no list of ancient wonders would be complete without the Great Pyramid of Giza. Built over 4,500 years ago, it remains a testament to Egyptian ingenuity, yet simultaneously, a giant, unsolvable riddle. Standing nearly 481 feet tall, it was the tallest man-made structure for over 3,800 years. Its sheer scale is mind-boggling. Constructed from an estimated 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing between 2.5 and 15 tons. Some of the largest granite stones used for the king's chamber weigh up to 80 tons and were transported from Aswan, over 500 miles away. But the true enigma lies in its construction. How did they achieve such incredible precision without modern tools? The pyramid is aligned almost perfectly with the cardinal directions: north, south, east, west, with an error of less than 1/15 of a degree. The casing stones, now mostly gone, were so precisely cut and placed that the gaps between them were less than a millimeter wide, making it virtually impossible to slide a razor blade between them. Imagine trying to achieve that with copper chisels and simple ropes. Theories range from massive ramps and lever systems to more outlandish ideas involving forgotten technologies. Modern engineers have tried to replicate some aspects of its construction, often failing or requiring vastly more resources than the ancient Egyptians possessed. The mathematical knowledge embedded within its dimensions, like the approximation of pi and the golden ratio, further deepens the mystery. How did a society, supposedly without advanced mathematics as we know it, incorporate such sophisticated principles into their grandest monument? The Great Pyramid doesn't just ask, how? It screams, why haven't we figured this out yet? Moving from monumental architecture to a more intimate mystery, we encounter the Shroud of Turin, a centuries-old linen cloth bearing a faint, ghostly image of a crucified man. For some, it is the actual burial shroud of Jesus Christ, a sacred relic. For science, it's one of the most intensely studied and controversial artifacts in history. The image itself is unique. It's not painted. There's no evidence of brushstrokes or pigment application in the usual sense. Instead, the image appears to be a superficial discoloration of the topmost fibers of the linen, almost like a scorch or a photographic negative. What truly baffles scientists is the image's three-dimensional information. When analyzed by image processors, the intensity of the image correlates to distance, meaning you can derive a 3D model of the figure from the 2D cloth. This is a property not found in any known painting or photographic process from antiquity, or even well into the modern era. Despite extensive analysis, including carbon dating that suggests a medieval origin, though the accuracy of this dating has been fiercely debated due to potential contamination or repairs, the mechanism behind the image's creation remains stubbornly unexplained. How could a fabric from any era possess such unique imaging properties? Was it a natural process, an unknown chemical reaction, or something far more extraordinary that defies all our current understanding of physics and chemistry? The shroud continues to be an enigma, blurring the lines between faith, history, and scientific investigation, leaving us without a definitive answer. Deep in the remote mountains of Qinghai, China, lies another perplexing find: the Beigong pipes. Discovered in 1996 near Mount Beigong, these rusty iron pipes are found embedded in a pyramid-shaped mountain near a saltwater lake, and some even penetrate deep into the surrounding rocks. Some of these pipes are quite small, like toothpicks, while others are massive, up to 16 inches in diameter. What makes them so baffling? Well, they're made of iron, but they're found in a region where there's no known iron smelting or ancient industrial activity. That could explain their presence. Geologists have examined them and concluded that some of the pipes appear to be ancient, dating back potentially millions of years, according to one analysis, far predating any known human civilization with the capability to produce such metalwork. Other analyses suggest a more recent origin. Regardless of the exact age, the composition of these pipes is unusual, containing elements like silicon dioxide and calcium oxide in proportions that are difficult to explain naturally. The big question is, who put them there? Were they part of an unknown ancient civilization's infrastructure? Perhaps a complex water system or mining operation from a people we know nothing about? Or, as some more fringe theories suggest, could they be evidence of extraterrestrial activity? The very idea of pipes made of processed metal existing in a geological context that predates known human metalworking abilities poses a huge challenge to our understanding of human history and technological development. Our next mystery takes us into the realm of ancient metallurgy, Damascus steel. Imagine a sword so sharp it could cut a silk scarf in midair, and so strong it wouldn't chip or break. That was the legend of Damascus steel, famed throughout the world from about 300 BC to 1750 AD. These blades, originating from the Middle East, were instantly recognizable by their distinct, wavy, watery pattern, known as a moire pattern. The secret to creating this super material was a lost art. Artisans knew how to forge these incredible blades from wootz steel imported from India. But the exact process, involving specific heating and cooling cycles, peculiar atmospheric conditions in the forge, and perhaps even secret ingredients, was fiercely guarded and eventually died out. Modern metallurgists have spent decades trying to replicate the properties of true Damascus steel. While they can create steel with similar patterns, they often struggle to achieve the same legendary strength, sharpness, and flexibility. Scientists have found evidence of carbon nanotubes and cementite nanowires in authentic Damascus steel blades, structures that make the material incredibly strong at a molecular level. We can now create carbon nanotubes in labs, but how did ancient smiths, working with charcoal and bellows, achieve this nano-level engineering by accident, or, more astonishingly, by design? The specific combination of raw materials, heating temperatures, forging techniques, and the mysterious ingredients used, possibly even certain plant leaves in the quenching process, remains elusive. It's a powerful reminder that our ancestors had practical, hands-on knowledge and empirical methods that could lead to discoveries that even today's advanced material science struggles to fully reverse engineer. Finally, we turn our attention to one of the most enigmatic books ever created, the Voynich Manuscript. Discovered in 1912 by an antique book dealer named Wilfred Voynich, this heavily illustrated codex is about 240 pages long. Filled with intricate drawings of unfamiliar plants, astronomical diagrams, fantastical creatures, and naked women bathing in strange green pools. But its most perplexing feature is the text itself. It's written in an unknown script, a completely unique language that has defied all attempts at decipherment. Code breakers, linguists, cryptographers, even artificial intelligence programs, none have been able to make sense of a single word. The Voynich manuscript doesn't seem to follow the patterns of any known natural language. Yet, it's not random either. It has a consistent internal structure and statistical properties that suggest it's not just gibberish. Was it an elaborate hoax? A medieval prank designed to fool future generations? Or is it a genuine language? Perhaps a coded message? A long-lost dialect? Or the invention of a brilliant but isolated mind? The illustrations often don't match any known flora or fauna, adding to the mystery. The true meaning and contents of this book remain unknown, a tantalizing whisper from the past that refuses to yield its secrets. It sits in Yale University's Beinecke Rare Book and Manuscript Library, a beautiful, frustrating testament to a knowledge system that simply doesn't fit into our historical records. As we've seen, our understanding of the past is far from complete. These incredible discoveries aren't just fascinating relics. They are profound challenges to our conventional notions of ancient knowledge, technology, and capabilities. They force us to confront the possibility that history is far more complex and layered than we often imagine, filled with forgotten geniuses, lost techniques, and perhaps even untold civilizations that reached heights we're only beginning to glimpse. These enduring mysteries encourage us to keep questioning, keep exploring, and to embrace the unknown as a catalyst for new discoveries, reshaping our perspectives on what humanity was and what it's truly capable of. If you found these mysteries as captivating as we did, then you won't want to miss our next video, popping up right here.